Okay, so we've been digging into this story coming out of Jaipur, the Pink City, and honestly, it sounds less like reality and more like something straight out of a movie.
Oh, absolutely. It's quite the narrative. We're talking about what should have been just a standard prisoner transfer, but it spiraled.
Spiraled is one word for it. A citywide adventure, it seems, involving alleged bribes, hotels plural, and apparently a very specific breakfast craving.
That's right. So the mission here is really to unpack all of this, pull apart the details, the surprising turns, and maybe ask some bigger questions about how this could even happen. It all kicked off Saturday, May 24th, 2025.
Yeah, let's set the scene. 5 inmates from Jaipur Central Jail. They're scheduled for medical checkups at SMS Hospital. Standard stuff.
Exactly. The official plan, very straightforward. Get the checkups done, everyone back inside the jail by 5:30 in the afternoon. Simple.
Except, it seems, for 4 out of the 5, that plan went right out the window.
Completely. It looks like only one inmate actually went through with the hospital visit as planned.
While the other 4 decided, Jaipur itself was their destination for the day.
Pretty much. And what's really fascinating, this wasn't some spontaneous, let's make a run for it situation.
No.
No, the details emerging suggest this whole outing was, well, allegedly arranged, facilitated by bribes.
Okay, bribes. How much are we talking about here?
The figure being reported is around 25,000 total, apparently funneled through some kind of middleman.
25,000 total for 4 inmates.
Hmm.
How did that break down?
The suggestion is that it was meant to be 5,000 for each of the 5 constables who were on escort duty.
Wait, hang on. Just 5,000 rupees per guard? That seems incredibly low, doesn't it? For the risk they'd be taking letting convicted criminals wander around.
It does seem low, yeah. The accounts don't really explain the logic behind that specific amount, but the figure itself, if true, definitely makes you think about, well, the value placed on security versus the incentive.
For
Right?
sure. And this all blew up
When they didn't make it back by that 5.3 deadline on Saturday, May 24th, that failure to return, that's what triggered the alarm bells.
and things moved fast after that.
Very fast.
Hmm.
By the next day, Sunday the 25th, the police were already piecing things together and the arrests started rolling in.
How many arrests are we talking?
13 people, reportedly, by Sunday.
13. Wow. Okay, so who's included in that?
Right, so you've got the 4 inmates who went on the unscheduled tour.
Rafiq Bakri, Banwar Lal, Ankit Bansal, and Karan Gupta. Those are the names mentioned.
Yes, those 4. Then the 5 constables who were supposed to be guarding them.
Okay, that's 9. Who else?
And 4 relatives. Apparently family members were involved in sort of helping facilitate the whole thing.
So it wasn't just the inmates and the guards. There was a whole network.
It certainly looks that way. A network coordinating this day out. And you have to feel for that 5th inmate, right? The one who actually just went to the hospital.
Oh, totally. Imagine being that person. Just trying to get your medical checkup done when everyone else is off on. Well, what sounds like quite the itinerary.
Including that breakfast.
Yes, the Poha breakfast. It keeps popping up in the details, doesn't it? Seems like a strangely specific part of the plan for some of them.
It really does. Definitely more memorable than a hospital waiting room.
So let's trace that itinerary. They didn't all stick together, did they?
No, they split up. The accounts suggest Rafiq Bakri and Banwar Lal checked into a hotel over in the Jalipura area.
Okay, Jalapura. And what happened there?
Well, this is where it gets even more tangled. Rafiq apparently met his wife at the hotel. Banwar reportedly met up with an ex-girlfriend.
But it didn't end there, did it? With Rafiq's wife.
No, things took a serious turn. When the police caught up with them, they allegedly found narcotics on Rafiq's wife, so she was arrested too, under the NDPS Act, that's the drug law.
Wow. So a secret hotel rendezvous turns into a drug bust. Meanwhile, what about the other 2, Ankit Bansal and Karan Gupta?
They had their own spot, apparently. A different hotel, this one near Jaipur's airport.
The airport hotel.
Yeah.
And that's where the famous Poha breakfast happened.
That seems to be the place, yes. Reports say Ankit's girlfriend actually booked the room for them.
And when the police arrived there?
They found not just Ankit and Karan, but also one of Karan's relatives. And this relative was allegedly holding on to about 45,000 euros in cash, plus several inmate ID cards.
Okay, so cash, IDs. The relatives weren't just visiting. It sounds like they were actively involved in the logistics, maybe the funding, the documentation. It really does paint a picture of a pre-planned operation.
Absolutely. But the story, based on these accounts, it goes deeper than just these 4 inmates having a day out.
How so?
Well, the real bombshell in all this is the allegation that the whole thing might have been orchestrated by someone else, someone still inside Jaipur Central Jail.
Orchestrated. By who?
A convicted extortionist currently serving time there. The suggestion is he pulled the strings for this entire operation from within the prison walls.
Hold on. From inside his cell, he allegedly arranged the bribes, coordinated the hotels, the meetings, all from jail.
That's the allegation, leveraging connections, making arrangements. It's quite staggering, if true.
How is that even possible? How does someone supposedly run an operation like that from a high-security prison?
This is where it gets really alarming. The reports mention intercepted phone calls. Apparently, since April 2025, this individual is allegedly linked to over 200 unauthorized calls made from inside the jail.
200 calls. On illegal mobile phones, presumably.
Presumably, yes.
Yep.
Widespread illegal phone use is implied. And these weren't just calls to arrange a day trip. They allegedly involved bribery discussions and even threats.
Threats? Toward who?
Including, reportedly, threats directed at high-profile figures. Even Rajasthan's chief minister, Bhajanlal Sharma, was mentioned in these accounts.
Okay, this just escalated. So we're not just talking about a security lapse allowing a day out. This points towards a potentially much larger, much more dangerous operation being run from inside the prison, using phones they shouldn't have.
Precisely. It raises fundamental questions about control and security within the jail itself. How does someone maintain that level of communication and influence?
Yeah, it forces you to ask if this kind of thing is possible. Allegedly bribing guards for a day pass, hotel stays, Poha. I mean, what else could be happening? What other kinds of activities could be orchestrated from behind bars if security can be compromised like this?
It really shines a harsh light on potential systemic failures, doesn't it? We're talking about vulnerabilities, potential corruption, maybe gaps in oversight or procedure. The whole system comes under scrutiny.
And the fact that those 13 arrests happened so quickly by Sunday.
Right. It suggests, according to the reports, that the network involved might be wider than just the immediate players on Saturday. It hints at complicity potentially reaching further.
The fallout must be pretty intense. Jail officials under pressure, I imagine.
Oh, definitely. Intense scrutiny and the public reaction. Well, you can imagine. Online, it's been a mix of outrage and almost dark humor. People latch on to details like the Poha vacation because it sounds so unbelievable, almost cinematic.
Yeah, it's easy to see the absurd side, but the underlying issues are anything but funny.
Exactly. A breach like this, if the reports are accurate, seriously damages public trust. Trust in the correctional system, trust in its ability to actually secure people. And those alleged threats, especially towards the chief minister, that shows the potential ripple effects can go far beyond the prison walls.
So the police are investigating now, searching the jail, but it sounds like just finding more hidden phones isn't really the core issue here.
No, that feels like treating a symptom, not the cause. The accounts suggest a need for a much deeper look. Reevaluating security protocols from the ground up, looking at staff supervision, training, maybe even pay and working conditions, if those contribute to susceptibility to corruption. It's complex.
So wrapping this up, what does it all mean when you step back and look at it? This whole Jaipur jail situation, it's a story that's definitely stranger than fiction.
It really is. But beyond the wild details, it points to some really significant, uncomfortable questions about the systems in place.
Yeah, from these alleged, almost paltry bribes, letting prisoners out for a day, to the idea of a convicted extortionist potentially running things from his cell. It lays bare serious concerns about security, about corruption, about basic accountability.
And we saw how quickly it unraveled, right? Missing that May 24th deadline led straight to 13 arrests by the 25th. That speed suggests awareness, perhaps, of a vulnerability, and it exposed a network seemingly operating both inside and outside the jail.
It leaves you, the listener, really thinking, doesn't it? If this level of compromise is possible, a day out, hotels, breakfast in what's supposed to be a secure facility, what else might be slipping through the cracks unnoticed?
Absolutely. It forces a hard question about what genuine security, effective oversight, and maybe even rehabilitation are supposed to look like within institutions designed to uphold the law. A lot to think about there.